Most people, when they hear the word fasting, they think about hunger, they think about willpower, about white-knuckling your way through the day. They think it's a discipline for people stronger than them. But what's actually happening inside your body, inside your spirit, when you choose not to eat? Nobody taught me this in church. Nobody sat me down and said, "Here is what fasting does to you." That question changed everything for me. This is day 6 of our 40-day Lent journey together, and today we're not staying on the surface. Today we go deep into what your body and your spirit actually experience when you fast. In the first few hours of fasting, your body is running on what you last ate. Blood sugar stays steady, energy holds. You feel almost normal. This phase is quiet, deceptively peaceful. But then, around hour 6, hour 8, something shifts. Your insulin drops, your blood sugar dips, and your body looks around and says, "All right, I need another source of fuel." And that is when it gets interesting. Your fat cells start releasing stored energy. This is ketosis beginning. And here's what stopped me in my tracks when I first learned this. Your body then begins a process called autophagy, inner housekeeping, cellular repair, built in by God to activate when you fast. Scientists call it autophagy. The word literally means self-eating. I know, that sounds alarming, but I need you to stay with me here because this is one of the most beautiful things I've ever learned about the human body. When you fast, your cells begin consuming their own damaged parts, old broken proteins, cellular waste that was building up for years, things that were quietly slowing you down and you didn't even know it. The emptiness outside creates a cleansing inside. I sat with that for a long time. Built into our biology is a mechanism for renewal through emptying. You don't have to manufacture it. You don't have to force it. You just have to stop and let the body do what God designed it to do. I have to be honest with you. Around day 2 or 3 of fasting, your brain gets foggy. You get irritable. You snap at people you love over nothing. Your head aches. You sit there wondering, is this supposed to feel like this? Am I doing something wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. You're in the transition. Because after that fog, something clears. Your brain begins producing BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. New neural connections form. Your brain literally sharpens. Mystics called it clarity of soul. Scientists called it neurological enhancement. I think they're describing the same thing. When the noise of appetite quiets, you begin to see what was always there, waiting for you to stop eating long enough to notice. Here's something nobody warned me about. When I fasted, I got hungry, obviously, but the hunger changed. It shifted into something I didn't have a word for at first. At first, it's physical, stomach growling, headaches, that restless searching feeling. But then it becomes something else entirely, a kind of ache deeper than your stomach, an ache that you realize food was never going to fix anyway. Jesus said, "Man does not live by bread alone." I had read that verse 100 times, but fasting was the first time I understood it, not just in my mind, but in my body. The hunger revealed what I had been feeding instead of Him. Something nobody prepares you for. Fasting can make you cry, suddenly, without warning. Old grief surfaces, old anger that you thought was done. Hurt from years ago, things you thought you'd healed, they come back up. I believe when we remove the thing we normally use to comfort ourselves, what was hiding underneath it finally gets to come up. Food, scrolling, busyness. These aren't just habits, they're covers. And fasting removes the cover. That is not failure. That is the fast doing exactly what it's supposed to do. God meets us in that raw, exposed place, not to condemn us for what came up, but to finally heal what we've been covering. There is a reason every major religion includes fasting. Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity. They cannot all be wrong about this. They discovered through thousands of years of practice that fasting is not punishment, it is positioning. When your body is quiet, when the noise of appetite is dimmed, when you are not planning your next meal or reaching for your next snack, something in your spirit becomes very, very still. And in that stillness, you start to notice things that God has been trying to say, answers He's been offering, direction He's been giving. You weren't ignoring Him, you were just too full to hear. Fasting creates room. When you eat again after fasting, even something simple, it tastes completely different. The first bite, a piece of bread, a handful of grapes, you stop, and for a moment, you understand what it means to receive something as a gift. You feel grateful in a way you cannot manufacture on command. Not performed gratitude, not something you're saying because you're supposed to. Real gratitude. The kind that rises up from somewhere in your chest before you even form a thought. Fasting teaches you something that culture cannot teach you, that you have enough, that you are enough, that the plate doesn't need to be full for you to be okay. That is a freedom most people never find. I want to speak directly to some of you because I know some of you cannot fast from food. Medication that requires eating, health conditions, a history with food that makes this dangerous, pregnancy. Please hear me. God sees you. God knows. The spirit of this practice is never about harming yourself. Fast from your phone. Fast from the news cycle. Fast from social media and the constant noise. Fast from the thing that is keeping you numb. The biology is different, but the principle is identical. Remove what distracts, create space, and meet God in that space. The goal was never the hunger. The hunger was never the point. The goal was always what you find when the hunger finally clears. Your body, this thing you've maybe spent years criticizing, resenting, or just ignoring, is not your enemy. God made it. He designed it. He put into it a hunger for more than food. And built into its very cells is a mechanism that activates when you are willing to let go. Fasting is one of the most ancient acts of faith. It is the body saying what the mouth sometimes struggles to say. I need you more than I need this. And every single time that prayer is prayed with an empty stomach, He answers. Day 6, you showed up. You stayed. You went somewhere deeper today than hunger. That matters. Keep going. See you tomorrow.